Toggle. We're on.
We're back. So we just took a quick break. We're just like a couple minutes behind, I think. So we're going to run back out there for the second portion of the panel, which is the questions from the audience. And then I have questions that have been given to the Facebook groups. And so if we have time, we'll do those. And I actually wrote down, not me, Kat Gifford did it for me, the names of everyone who asked the questions. And so I'll give you guys a little shout out. So let's do it. I'm excited. The first half, I think, went really good. What did you guys think? Sandy? Good?
Oh, I think it went great.
So it's okay. So yeah, and we are live, just FYI. But it's
Elton John.
They basically turned up thinking this is the monastery. And they wanted to see it on John by Candlelight.
Oh, that's quite funny.
Okay.
I'm a lot of things, but I'm not Elton John. Start. Let's see. Let's do. How do we rope everybody in? I can get on the microphone. I'd also tell them just to turn down the volume and say, "Authors, please come to the panel." That's what I should do.
There's Holly. You are live.
It's Holly Edgerton. She's one of the moderators. She's gonna do our whole booth for us. Yay! So fun. And hopefully my microphone. That's it. More fun. All right, let's go tell him that we're ready.
Do you want this off?
Huh?
We're still on.
Oh, we can go, yeah,
Just checking, making sure. Thanks, guys.
Do you think Dale could open the water bottle for me? I wonder.
Yep. Can you open the water bottle for her? Say hi. This is tough. This is tough doing this. I'm not going to be able to move it tomorrow. I'm going to turn for a second while they're talking and just film. Say hi, everybody. Big group. Beautiful Manchester.
Donna is back first. Donna gets a cookie. Ding, 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 ding. All right, you guys, let's get going. Yes, with the authors on the panel, please return to the panel. There you go.
Try to kiss him.
On your way. Oh, let me just, there we go. I love you. Thanks. Okay. Awesome. Thank you. All right. Okay, so I know we have lots of good questions, right? Yes, please, yes. Okay, because this is your time, this is your moment, because we all know at signing it's quite busy, right? There's lots of queues. And so this is the time to ask away. So if you could please come up here, we'll start the queue this way around the column. for anyone who wants to ask a question, I know you do, because I had like 10 people come up to me over the break, and there's no way I can remember all of your questions. Okay. You want me to come to you? Would you rather me come to you? I can walk to you. No, you didn't. Okay, come on over here. With the mic.
Oh, no, we don't. They just turned me on.
Oh, and we are missing. You're right. There is. We are missing Jodi. So we're on the cover.
She's gone.
In the meantime, while we're waiting for Jodi, Donna, you might want to make your mic go a little bit, because you're. Yes. I have the same problem.
I need a pillow.
How tall are you?
I tell everybody I'm 4'10", I'm actually 4'9.5", so I give myself that half an inch. I used to wear 4-inch heels everywhere, and then COVID happened, and my feet went, not anymore.
Well, I'm 5'2", so not much taller.
Hey, but you reached 5 foot. My brothers used to tell me if I would hang from the monkey bars that it would stretch me and I could reach 5 foot. So I would hang religiously for hours on the monkey bars, and I never got 5 foot.
Well, A for effort. Yes. Okay. All right. So I think we're still waiting. So while we're waiting on Jodi, does anyone? I think we have someone looking for Jodi. Has anyone seen Jodi? Okay.
Jodi.
Well, we'll just get Donna, and then she'll join us. So apparently, ironically, during Jodi's section, there was a question that I don't know which question it was. Oh, is she coming? That sounded very English for some reason. Is she coming? Oh, righto. There's Jodi. That was terrible, wasn't it?
Was that supposed to be an English accent?
Actually, thank you very much.
Oh,
It's not too terrible, is it?
a little
You
bit.
should hear my husband try to do an American accent. My husband's British. He's from Birmingham. He used to play for Stoke City soccer. He's a soccer guy. Yeah. And when he tries to do an American accent, it's hysterical. It's almost like I want to.
We don't have an accent.
No, we don't have an accent.
I don't have an accent.
No, she definitely does not.
I do not have an accent.
It sounds like a Texas drawl.
Everybody knows. When I went to Texas, yes. So when I went
Oh, you are from Texas.
So when I went to Scotland for the first time, right? I sit down, first restaurant we went to, and he was like, "You're from Texas," and I was like, "How the hell did you know that?" But apparently this is a Texas thing.
You know, well, it's actually quite funny because everything's bigger in Texas.
Except
Well, so I was just about to say that someone told me during the break, it's actually quite funny, during your question, I don't remember which one it was. The foreskin. That would be actually that's even funnier if it was the foreskin one. Apparently a couple walked in the back and they thought that this was the Elton John vigil.
and I'm talking about foreskin.
I'm a lot of things, but I sure as heck am not Elton John. So that's quite funny. Apparently that's why everyone was laughing at that one when we heard a bunch of people. Oh, so sorry, what?
Why is there an Elton John picture?
I don't. I honestly don't. I have no idea. But apparently it was at the monastery. Monastery? Oh. Yeah. Okay, all right, so let's hear some questions. Yay, all right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you come up to stand in front of me one by one, and we want your name, and then what author you want to address, and then your question. Okay, all right, okay. Yep, there you go. All right, and then face, you're coming this way. Which way do I face? We're going to have you be like this. Like this? Because there's cameras, and that way we can show a camera. Okay. You can look at it.
My name's Sonia. My question is for you, Jodi. When you first wrote With This Man, did you ever have any inkling that it'd be as big as it is, and that 20 years later you're writing the book from Jesse's point of view?
No, absolutely not. Although you never dare dream that something that you love and put so much into other people might love, especially given that it was Jesse Ward and he is Probably, arguably, the most unreasonable, neurotic, control freak, alpha male. Being kind. Like I said earlier, I wrote in secret, and I really wasn't. I had no idea what my imagination was capable of. And it was quite frightening for me, so for my family, yeah. In fact, funny story, my mother and father recently moved out of their home into a new, what we call, well, I'm in England, Jesus, bungalow. You usually have to explain what a bungalow is like. And my mum went to New York for a girls' weekend, and my sister and I were left to do a lot of clearing out. So much shit. And my sister, whose name is Siobhan, she was upstairs in Mum and Dad's bedroom, and she's like, Joe, you've got to get up here. So, thinking something's terribly wrong, I went running up the stairs. Siobhan had opened my mother's bedside cabinet, and there was a copy of this man in there, and it was open, and Siobhan looked on chapter 3. She started that about 10 years ago, got to chapter 3, and put it on a bedside table, and vowed never to read another book of mine again. So yeah, I wrote in secret for a long time, but then, and you know what, I'm quite angry that I did it in secret, because there's nothing to be ashamed of at all. But I was younger, and I was heavily influenced, not confident enough to own my shit, and now I own it.
I was 16 when it first came out. My first foray into adult books.
That isn't a massive adult book. You leapt over a lot of
Even now, 20 years later, all the books I've ever read, Jessie's always been my favourite.
Okay, let's not just be clear. Jesse Wood is not the kind of man you need to aspire to. That's okay. Okay, that's good.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, thank you.
Right there. Okay, what is your name? Tammy. And what author do you have a question for? Everybody. Oh, great. We love that. Left to right. That's Yay! Yay!
You're up, Jodi. So, who out of your books, your characters, would you like to fuck, marry, and kill?
Oh boy.
Good.
Okay, I'll start. We'll soften that up a little bit. We can say kiss instead of the.
No.
Boo. I'm sorry, I've already said fuck way too many times. Read the room.
Actually, that sounds quite good. Yeah, let's do that.
It's very Austin Powers. This is good. Keep doing this. I'm thinking. I would like. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. I would shag. I don't know why I said it like that. Jared. Mary Draven. And I would. It's okay, Lucius is safe, guys. I would kill. Does it have to be a guy? No. Oh, great, Layla.
Yeah!
One day, guys, one day.
Yes!
I would go
for Johnny James from the Harlequin Blue series. He's a stripper and it's just going to be the best. Mary was the second?
Yes.
Mary Lionel. It has to be done. Or maybe Darius. And kill. If I couldn't do it in literature, I can't do it making it up in my mind right now. I would kill Geraldine. No, I would kill Bard. Okay, I'm gonna go for Ryder. But I don't think he'd marry him. I don't know, man. That long term. Long term, I'd go for Lance and Ryan, marry. And kill. I would kill.
You killed too many people.
Yeah, like, who's left? It's like, who's too much? Who would I kill again? I would kill, fucking Sean. Fucking Sean. Good die. Yeah.
Alright. Shag. It's gonna be Aurora from Scrutha's Crown. That was fun. What was it?
Mary.
Mary? I can't remember the character's name, but it's a girl from Silas. She's the little innocent one, you know. All my ex-girlfriends. And then kill. We're gonna kill Vanessa from Forbidden Attraction. She's a bitch.
All right. Wow. Okay. I would say Shag. A Fabric. Exhibition. I will say Silas. And then kill Professor Michaels from Forbidden Attraction.
I still don't know. I'm just sitting here thinking this. So, okay, I would shag Ulrich. I would marry Khan, kill. Fuck, I don't know any of the bad guys. I don't know. I'm just, my brain's stuck. It's jet lag, people. I'm jet lag. You cannot play jet lag.
If I haven't killed them already, I think I would kill. What
Shag. Just jump straight to kill.
I know, that's the hardest one because I would shag all of them. I would marry all of them as well. Why Jesus? I know, actually, in the same breath, I'd probably kill all of them.
I would shag all of them, marry all of them, and kill all of them.
That's what I'm doing. No, yeah. I'm going to walk out here and then I'm going to go, damn it!
Thank you.
What is your name and what author do you have a question for?
Hello everyone, my name is Marina. The question is for all of you, and it might be two questions, if that's all right.
That's absolutely fine, yeah.
Okay, I will just start with the first one and then continue with the second one. First of all, what would you recommend for new writers, except not giving up? Do you have any clue, any hint that helped you before everything took off?
What inspired you to keep writing when times were tough? And you might have had doubts.
That's a tough one. I think for me, you kind of don't overcomplicate things in your own mind. Nothing you write is set in stone. You don't have to know it all. You don't have to, freak yourself out with what is the best program to use or what's this and this and this. It's you and your story. and you write for yourself first and foremost. You know, write the book that you want to read, and that's always been my thing. You know, you can overcomplicate things with, oh, you know, write what you know. A few different things there, but anyway, that would be my advice. So yeah, and believe in yourself, obviously.
Yeah, I echo that, obviously. One of the things I think we found really helpful was writing the word blah. You don't have to stop every time you can't think of a name for a character, or every time, I don't know, some little bit of description doesn't quite fit right, or a term isn't quite there in your head. Stalling to try and get every detail just right on the first, especially in the first book of the series, but any just ongoing, or if you can't quite remember the name of a side character who you know was in it before, just write blah or something to that effect, some little thing.
I write X.
Me too.
I put an X.
Yeah,
so that you can search it like fill it in.
describe dress,
Yeah.
describe room.
Yeah, you don't have to have it all right there right now, and then you'll get your first draft. And once you've got your first draft, you've got your book, and the rest of it's just editing. Which, I mean, just editing, but yeah.
I find it keeps the flow.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that flow is so important when you're writing. You know, the whole stop, start, that is the difficult part of it,
Yeah.
you know, and obviously life gets in the way, especially, you know, if you've got kids and you're writing a sex scene and they're just about to, and I don't know why I made that noise, but anyway, yeah, because the kids are in the room, and the two-year-old comes up to you and goes, "Mom, I pooped, want to have a look?" And I'm like, well, there you go, there goes that sex scene. You know, there's no coming back from that. I'm sorry, guys.
At that point, you write all right, and then they totally did it.
Yeah.
You just come back to that.
Yeah. Like literally insert sex scene and come back to it. I wasn't going to say sex scene. I was going to say penis. But never mind. You just jumped to conclusions. But no, like, yeah. Sorry.
No, that was just like a tactic that I found when we, probably 10, 15, 20 books in, suddenly we're like, we don't have to know every single thing right away, and just stick it. It helps you get that first draft out. I would say, like, you might feel like there's so many authors and there's so many books to compete with, but when you realize it's not a competition, and that how many readers here read a book in like a day or 2 days? Like, you will never fulfill the amount that a reader can read, and especially in romance. It's crazy. We'll write a 300,000 word book that we've slaved over, and then we put it out, and it's like, there's the next one? Like 12 hours later, we're like, ah!
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is to just always keep it fun, right? Like, honestly, I don't even know I didn't even know what a romance book was. So, like, I didn't even know if I was writing anything good. And then you get a little feedback. And of course, you can't always go off the internet because people suck and they want to just be mean just because they want to be mean. But, like, you just know someone, they come up to you like, wow, I love that book, you know? You know, those one little moments just keep you going for more and more, and no matter how much like negative or doubt or anything, you have fun. The little things that make it good make you that much better. And as long as it's fun, you're going to enjoy the process always.
You kind of just added on to what Stephanie said, kind of the same thing. You know, just writing what you know what you like to read, and kind of just what's missing and what you would like to see. You know, that's missing. Kind of what do you enjoy writing? What do you enjoy reading? Just kind of add to that. If you kind of, you know, I know there's a lot of, you know, pressure sometimes of writing to market, you know, but if you write what you enjoy, where it doesn't feel like a task or a job.
Just don't give up. I mean, perseverance is a lot of it, because a lot of people give up. They give up because other people tell them they can't do it, and they start to believe it. So if you want it bad enough, just keep writing.
We're all shit at some point.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
You feel that when you write it.
yesterday, I wrote the biggest pile of shit I've ever written in my life. Today, it's amazing. And that's the roller coaster of writing. You question yourself. You're crap. You're great. Every book. Like drunk writing, that's the best writing. Like the next day reading, I don't remember writing that, but it's really fucking good. But ultimately, you piece things together as you go along. I get so many emails from aspiring authors asking, what's the secret? There is no secret. There's your secret, and only you know your secret. And when you find it, you will fly.
Thank you. Shall I just go on with the second question?
Sure. Yes.
Okay. Sorry, guys. Yeah, the second one is like more like in the present. What did you love most of your readers? Like, what makes you think, wow, I really touched someone with that book, or like with what I just created? And what was like something you really enjoyed that your readers did for you?
Reviewing. Well, I mean, I've always had, like a lot of authors, I've always had a really close relationship with my readers, and like I was telling some people tonight that I made that decision that, when I made it big, and I would invite, I would throw a party for my fans, yeah, and I invited 100 people I'd never met before into my house, and that was fun. But the amazing thing for me is that I'm really good friends with a lot of those people that I met at my house that day. And, what really touches me is the fact that every event that I throw, if a lot of them, I see them every year, they come back and it starts to feel like one big family, and that really is important to me. It means a lot. And throwing an event like this, I don't like to get overly emotional in front of people, but I always take a step back and I always see, a sea of people all laughing and joking, and friendships that have been made through the love of reading, through, this kind of community. And I always get a lump in my throat at just being able to see those type of friendships being made all through that love of reading. And it's so nice when you know that you've put something on to bring everybody like that together. And it's just one of my favorite things, me and my fans and doing this. So yeah, I think I answered your question.
If not, I won't. Thank you.
We get, when we meet people and people send us messages online or write to us, some of the things that people have connected with in our books, in the writing, in the characters, in their stories, or even just how it's helped people to just escape from something in their own lives. It was something I think we couldn't have imagined we'd be able to achieve with our writing, and there's just this pure kind of beauty in the written word and the joy that people who read anything, everything, and being able to connect to that with the people, and when our stories obviously connect with people and resonate with them in the same way or even in a different way than they have done with us, it's insane. Like we sat in our parents' office and scribbled out these crazy stories that we didn't know if anyone would ever really want to read, and to kind of hear that from one person, they loved it, is just undescribable. And to have been as fortunate as we have to have heard it from many people it's just a wonderful thing.
Yeah, I think because we kind of got very popular with Zodiac through COVID, so we were kind of in this tiny little bubble, and when we came out of that, we came to Fiction Fans and Ballgowns, which was our first signing.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, I can't even tell you. We were like 4 people will come. Like, you know, we'll be chilling most of the day. We did not stop seeing people, and we could not, like, I cannot explain how that was to us. And there are people coming up with tattoos on them, with quotes, and I remember the husband and wife had like the Guardian Bond tattoos, and it was just like, it's just amazing. It's incredible. It's incredible.
It is. We love you all very much.
I would say just kind of just getting that feedback, and you know, especially when someone is immersed in one of our stories, you know, and you get a messenger, you know, by Facebook of just kind of, I hate that bitch, and like, I can't believe she did, you know, but just getting the feedback and kind of like the reviews, and kind of what Stephanie said, it just kind of, you know, it just kind of that feedback and the rewarding, you know, it just makes it great for what we do. It just wants to keep you going, just knowing that, you know, just getting the feedback from
The people are getting emotionally invested.
they're invested in our stories, and the real time feedback as they're reading the stories and where they are in the story, and they follow on up like, just wait. You have no idea. We like to call them, you know, say the C here, but I'll say the mind fucks. That's awesome. So take them on a journey.
Yeah, I would probably have to say, you know, on social media, I get a lot of messages from people, whether they're readers or not, but a lot of the readers are like, they first discover me and they realize, you know, besides my social media, I write books too, and a lot of them are romance authors, and I had no clue. So like, oh my God, I have to read your book. You know, what's the first book you want me to read? And I'm like, whoa, what do you like? And here we go. And but then like all of a sudden it's like, all right, the next day I just finished book 1. Day after I just finished book 2. I'm like, bitch, slow down. And it's like I'm still working on 4. Okay, you go too fast. And so it's just like, but hearing that, you know, they're just like, you know, and then you start connecting with people that you would never connect with before. And I went to last week I went to a heels class. I don't know if you know what a heels class is.
No British.
No? A heels class is like, it's typically all women, and it's like they're in heels and in lingerie, and it's a dance class. And so it's like very sexy Magic Mike for females, right? And I got tricked into it. Okay, I didn't go by choice. But anyways, I show up, and halfway through that class, someone finally realizes who I am, and then they turn around like, oh my God, I love your books. And I was just like, those kind of moments just are fun. And then like, they're just people that, you know, you would never see. They're totally people that are totally different than me. But that's what I love. I love people that are different than me. I'm allowed to connect to them. I'm allowed to make these friendships with people I probably wouldn't like just randomly talk to down the street. So it's just, those are the fun spots. Yeah. It's all on my social media. It is, yeah, okay. But I'm not in heels. No. It's kind of hard. Some of the moves you have to be in heels in to like for the balance. So it's kind of actually harder for me that way. But. I'm going the ball.
So everything that they said, but it's also the ones that contact me and say that their husband or spouse or significant other is going through some medical procedure, and my books have helped them get through it. And it's knowing that my crazy worlds in my head that I put on paper somehow connect to people. And it's just, I can't really put into words, and I'm a writer, but the words aren't there. What that feeling is, and it's one of the things that keep me writing. So.
Yeah, 100%. Those messages, the ones that I've done signings and had women fall apart in front of me because they've got through cancer, or they've got their husband through cancer, or they've lost their father, and you know, you're a mess. They cripple you because it hits you in a moment in time, and I never, you know, take for granted what I do, but I think some people, especially outside of our worlds of romance, don't quite understand what reading does for some people, and it's the ultimate form of escape. The ultimate form of escape.
I always say it's food for the soul.
It is. Yeah.
Thank you all for taking time, and sorry to keep you waiting.
Okay, please tell us your name and your question for which author or all.
So this is a question for Ollie. My name's Jodi. And it's not as deep as the other questions. When you are in your writing caves, you're in zone, you're focused, what snacks do you eat? Do you eat at all? Do you stop, or do you just keep going and your other half goes, there you go, I've got something to eat?
I probably just cope on drinking a ridiculous amount of tea. You know,
Like a true Brit.
yeah, yes. It's just there's rather one going cold on the side, or you know, there's an empty cup. And my husband, the poor guy, basically he knows when I'm deep into writing because my side, like, of the office or my side of the bed, depending on where I'm writing at the time, is just looks a state. There's cups everywhere, there's rubbish, there's, if I'm ill, there's snot rags, which is just so sexy. And I'm painting such a beautiful picture here, people. I'm usually in my pajamas as well, you know, no makeup, haven't brushed my hair. I look a mess. Anyway, but I think, you know, that's probably my go-to is the tea. I went way too deep into the snot rags, so I apologise. I should have just stuck with tea, but you know, I overshare. There you go.
Yeah, I don't really have, I wouldn't eat when I'm writing. It's just like a chaos. Lunchtime's kind of the enemy. If I stop for lunch, then something about it throws, that's the end.
So you drink all those readers' tears?
Amazing. I'm more vague than Caroline drinks them. She gets very dehydrated because of the salt.
Yeah, I'm the same really. Definitely tea, and they will definitely be going cold on the side. My poor dad this morning, I was just like kind of trapped, like we had the train, so I knew I had to go get the train. I was like, I'm going to finish this chapter. So I was just like tapping away, and Dad just like slides in a little coffee beside me, and I'm like, but I can't even pick that up.
Oh yeah, she has to have an 11 o'clock coffee, which I'm not capable of making because I only drink tea, so I have to go up. And we work in our parents' garden in the garden office, and I have to go up and ask Dad to make a coffee because I did it once. And she was like, it was fine, and then the next day she's like, maybe see if Dad could make it. So that's
I'd probably say I don't really eat. I'm always in my bed when I'm writing. It's upstairs, kitchen's downstairs, long ways, unless I have snacks, like chips, gummies, candy, everything else. But yeah, gummies are my go-to. I love gummies. Have you ever had the Skittles ones? They're brand new, they're really good. Sour Skittles gummies.
I want them now though, thanks.
I don't really eat when writing. I will occasionally, especially if I'm writing a sex scene, have a glass of wine, red wine in particular. And I typically have a song that I'll have on loop that I repeat. And there's a funny story, my kiddo, one of the songs that I was writing a sex scene, and my kiddo didn't know. He's like, Mom, you've been playing that same song for an hour. But that's typically just wine.
Is that even at 10 o'clock in the morning? Or is that just at night?
Anytime I'm writing a sex scene, have to have the wine.
So I'm one of those people that write on schedule. So I write first thing in the morning. So I get my first chapter done before lunch, then I'll have lunch, and then I write the second chapter. And then I don't bring any food into my office. I would forget it was there. So give me a rule. Nothing. I mean, I won't even drink anything. I'll bring my tea and it gets cold. So, I mean, nothing comes into my office. Yeah.
It depends what day it is. If I'm feeling good, then I'll chop some carrot sticks. and they'll just sit on the desk.
It's the fact that they're there.
Yeah.
It's what they can.
I can't tell you how many pots of hummus I've bought in the past month and Jamie's thrown them away. Not off. If my assistant's in, she brings me giant straws, but I had to stop her doing that because I had to have filling because I'd eaten so many giant straws. Has anyone had a giant straw? They get stuck in your teeth, don't they? Lynn's walking. Yeah. But mostly on.
What's a giant straw? I was about to ask that.
Giant straws? Yes, giant straws are the stickiest.
Is it like a gummy?
Gummy sweet. They're flat, they're like strawberries, they taste like strawberries, but they get so stuck in your teeth like tar. And you have to fix it out.
So it's like a Twizzler?
I'll show you a giant straw. I've got some giant straws here. Like now everyone gives me giant straws when I'm signing. And I do love them, but I have to be very limited with how many I eat. Well, anyway, the point is I don't really eat anything in a day, and it's a massive bone of contention for my husband because I don't eat enough. So he tries to force feed me unsuccessfully most of the time, but yeah.
So what you're saying is next year when you're here, we all need to bring a giant straw.
No, carrots. Thank you very much.
Okay, what is your name and what is your question? I think it's for everyone, right? The question? Yeah.
My name's Tia. My question is, what made you pick the genre you write, or did the genre pick you?
Sorry, can you? I didn't quite hear the.
What made you pick the genre you write?
I don't know. I think maybe it's because I enjoyed when I was a kid reading the point horrors so much, but I just love that kind of dark element of horror or paranormal, and I just think it just goes so hand in hand with being sexy and romance and stuff. So I think I get ideas for stories, like contemporary romance and stuff like that, and then I find myself, I'm writing down the idea, and then, all of a sudden he turns into something. I'm like, damn it, I just can't stop myself from, they all got to turn into something. So, maybe one day I'll rein it in, but yeah.
It's just what I like to read. So, we wrote the fantasy romance is kind of like the fantasy books generally are what we probably read the most of growing up. I had read some. I don't know if I really had read contemporary before.
Yeah, it was kind of like
contemporary romance. I read a lot of that, and then I was like, come over, let's do a contemporary. And then we wanted to do a reverse harem, and then we ended up doing a COVID reverse harem. Well, no, not COVID. In COVID, a virus-based reverse harem, which was a funny time. Yeah. So. But it's kind of writing what we love to read. So.
I will say, I am a nurse. I'm a manager of an operating room. And so my alter ego for me is fun to write dark romance and kind of the kinkier things, kind of like the alter ego to live out your fantasy through writing the things that necessarily that you don't live out in your everyday life. So for me, it's just alter ego to be able to, live out your fantasy through writing.
Yeah, I was going to say, like I said before, fantasy and paranormal are like my favorite type of genres for movies and books of the past. But we don't actually really write that. We do have one small little paranormal series that we do need to finish and go back to. But initially, it was just kind of like Shalana over here, had those books ideas first, and then I came up with like the paranormal idea, and then we kind of came up with the dark romance or the mafia romance idea together, trying to hit like various different, or I guess genres or subgenres within it. And now we kind of know exactly what we like the most, even though now that we've read a few different ones, and now we're going to kind of tackle those and expand those worlds specifically on what we like the most or what our readers really like the most from us.
Okay, I'm so gonna date myself here. When I first started reading, I only read historicals. And then when I started writing, they were historicals, but had paranormal elements, whether it was fantasy or paranormal, and agents were like, we don't know what to do with this. We can't sell it. Nobody would buy it. And I'm like, but look at all the contemporary paranormal series. Why can't I do this? And so that was just paranormal, and fantasy has always been like my love, my go-to. I'm also setting them in Scotland because, well, Highlanders, no offense to you Brits, but Highlanders. So yeah, and then finally I got an agent that said yes, and then all the editors wanted it. So for all the agents that said, we don't know what to do with it, I just had one that needed to say yes.
I like really hot men. I love creating broken hot men.
Everybody loves a fixer-upper.
And then a really strong, feisty woman who's going to fix it. And the drama and the love and the passion and everything that comes with romance.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So my name's Layla. So folks there for tuning on. Anyway, my question is for Seth. Shoes and socks. What's the deal?
You know what? As soon as I saw you join that queue, I knew this question was coming. Okay, not to ruin every sex scene that I've ever written, but I kind of had. Now, obviously, I've just finished and released book 50, so there's been a few.
Woohoo!
Thank you. So there's been a few sex scenes, obviously, and I kind of, what was it, about maybe 18 months ago, realized that there was one key element that I was kind of mainly forgetting in my sex scenes. I never described him taking his shoes and socks off. So now every sex scene I have written in the past, I was like, all I have got is images of Lucius and Draven and Jared with their shoes on and their socks on, and they're having happy fun time.
How did they take their pants off?
Well, they do exactly. I know, right? So I'm just thinking.
Implied.
It was implied. I don't even know what I'm talking about. The answer is it's implied. There is no shoes and socks, people. It's okay. They're fully naked and they have beautiful feet. There you go. Thank you.
Okay. That's awesome. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going a little bit off script, but what I'm going to do now is, we posted a lot of posts in all the different groups, and we had a lot of people ask questions. And so I've highlighted a question for each author, and then I thought I would just ask each of you one of the questions from those online who wanted to be here today, but obviously may not for whatever reason. Okay, so we're going to start with, there we go. Sorry, hurt hand here. Okay, we're going to start with Ryan and S.R. Watson. So Kathleen Gifford asked will we see any more Shiv and Grayson? Will there be any more books in the Pretty Boy Rock series?
So not necessarily a forbidden attraction, it was a trilogy. So not in that one, but forbidden for the Pretty Boy Rock series, probably not either. It's a 6-book series, unfortunately.
Okay. All right, so Donna, I have one for you.
Don't you dare say yes.
Oh, what is your reason for writing stories that blend the modern world with fantasy?
It's fun. I don't know. That's like asking any author why they write.
I just do, all right.
I just do. I mean, it's where my brain has always gone to paranormal and fantasy. It's actually very, very difficult for me to write anything that doesn't have it in there. And when I do, it's like a palate cleanser. So it's like I always set everything in Scotland. I always do paranormal and fantasy. It's me. It's what I'm supposed to write. I swear in a past life I lived in Scotland. And I was married to a Highlander. I'd like to know where the fuck he is.
Okay, Jodi, this one's from you. This is from Claire Boyle.
Ooh. Give it up for Claire.
Claire, you're on the hot seat.
She's in the room.
You're on the hot seat. There she is. She's like, oh my gosh, my question. Okay, and actually I picked this question without even knowing that you're the one who wrote it. I just thought it was quite funny. How long did it take you to film the recent TikTok balancing the books on your feet against the wall? Always look like you're having so much fun filming them. Love reading Jesse's POV in This Woman. Would you ever consider doing the same and writing One Night from Miller's POV? You can thank Claire for that right there. Claire Boyle.
The TikTok. So I am very lucky and blessed to have Zoe, who has been with me for a decade, and she's immense and awesome, and all the authors want to steal her from me, and no one can have her, she's mine. She comes into work, she's like, I've got an amazing idea for a TikTok. I'm like, oh, fucking hell. What am I going to be doing? It took, my legs hurt so much. I can't, and all she kept saying was, just stay, don't move. I'm not going to fucking move because I'm going to have 24 books fall on my head. But it was worth it. It was a good shot and it was good fun. As for writing One Night from Miller's point of view, I think that was the one. I've always said never say never. But never. I've just written the Jesse POVs. They hurt so good, but really bad as well. I don't want to write another existing series from another character's point of view because I've got so many other stories to tell, and it's just, it's a good idea at the time. But Jesse exhausted me. I need a break and then I'll crack on. Sorry, Claire.
She forgives you. Okay, Stephanie, this one's for you. What do you do to keep all of the storylines, characters, and timelines of all of the series straight, seeing as they all share the same world? Now we're talking about Afterlife, Transfusion, Hell Beasts, the Siren series, and Vincent's story, which everyone wants to know when book 2 is coming.
Yay! Well, I basically say I save all of my brain power for writing, and it's probably why I sound a bit ditzy most of the time. But it is difficult, to be able to basically entwine 50 books all within the same world. But it's one of my favorite things to do. Like, I love it. I get really, really excited when I can, basically tie everything together. But now, this is only recently, and I can thank somebody in the room for this. So it was quite difficult to obviously keep track of how you don't know how many characters. You know how many characters. It's like, what is it?
I got to at least 450. 450
characters. Now, obviously, not all of those are main characters, because that's insanity. But, basically, I didn't make any notes. My notes were my books, right? And that's really unhelpful. When some of your books are 300,000 words, and you've got to try and find, a specific thing. It was really unhelpful. So I had Amber basically compile a spreadsheet, which is like a Bible, and she names every single character, every demon, every angel, every place. She even made a world map of everything, where everything was ever set. There was just so much. There was cars, there was scents, you know, what people smelled like that I described, which, you know, is really handy if you ever want to make candles. There was just everything, and it's like my Bible, and it just is, you know, made my life so much easier, and it wasn't something I was ever going to do because I am not organized in any way, shape, or form. So yeah, thank you very much for that, Amber.
Thank you.
Okay, last but not least, the Twisted Sisters. So we have from Madison Creighton and Maria Tracy, both of them, wanted to know if you ever plan to write Saint's reaction to find out the truth about the squid.
I think everyone knows what the squid means, right? Saint's very clear on it. I think we're all very clear on it. Saint maybe didn't quite grasp it, but basically if you duck, octopus, left hand signal, Christmas tree on a kind of, you know, pumpkin emoji. What's going on. Yeah. Then you're getting close. Yeah, and then you squid, right?
Did anybody get that? Like, okay. I was just checking that there was to have big spikes. So it's just, you know.
Okay.
I have to know all of it.
Okay, so I'd like to close out. We have been asking you questions, so I would like to give each of you the opportunity to tell us any of the latest scoop on anything that you want to say about any of your current works in progress, about any future books that you're doing, anything that this is your opportunity to let us know, anything that you would want to share with your fans.
Awesome. Okay, I am going to write Vincent book 2. I know it's a long time coming. I'm very, very sorry. They're just really hard books to write, okay? A lot of research involved in it, obviously going back in time and whatnot. I am going to be writing, I'm just going through the list in my head of the most frequently asked questions. I am writing Sigurd's series next year. I am writing the next Pip and Adam. I'm finishing Hellbeast. I've got 4 more Siren books out this year. I might be able to get Vincent's book out at the end of the year. I'm probably planning another 7 books out this year, so that's probably gonna be my limit. And then, yeah, I think that's answered the most frequent questions. Yeah, okay, great.
Wow.
They just don't look very happy. I'm like, you know. I'm like, they're
eagerly listening.
Okay, I can't write anymore. That's it.
We finished writing Zodiac Academy. So that will be with you very soon on the 23rd of April. We're about 100,000 words deep into the book 1 of the new Zodiac series, which is set in the same world, new characters, new everything. We've cracked on.
Yeah, we've been having a lot of fun.
And we finally figured out Frankie's story.
Yeah,
Anyone who's been
I gotta
reading
put the
on
battery
that
on.
Beautiful Carnage series for the last 4 odd years. The third Romero Brothers story, we suddenly just were like, that's what we've been missing, and we planned a quarter of the chapters have the story down.
We've got strong plans for Dark Core 4, and Zodiac Academy 9 segues very nicely into the Dark Core series. So whether or not you haven't read that yet, maybe it's time.
Yeah, so lots of things.
Awesome.
I would not say, so we got 3 more books to finish up the Rufus series. And then we will be finishing the Paranormal Quantum Entanglement series as well. And then we're starting our new series this year. It's going to be a dark secret society kind of book, which is like more my realm. So I'm pretty stoked for that one. And then, with a long time coming, since 2017, everyone's been harping on us, we will be greatly expanding the world of Silas. So.
But right.
That's your first book.
Is that a ditto? Then, yeah.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so my Dark Universe consists of 6 series so far, which is the Dark Sword, Dark Warriors, Dark Kings, Reapers, Dragon Kings, and Sky Druids. The new Elven series starts in May, which is the Elven Kingdoms. And then what nobody knows yet is I'm doing a new Dragon King duology. The Bastard King and the Uncrowned King will be coming out 6 months apart.
Woo! I've got nothing. No, I'm joking. For the first time though, there's not really a plan. So the American was last book in the North and Men series. That came out on Tuesday. That was a 200,000 worder. Yeah, beast of a book. The Rising before it, that was a 200,000 worder. In fact, the last 6 books I've written have been knocking on or over 200,000 words, and they've all been part of a series. So, you know, you're in a series, you kind of, you stop. You're stuck. You know, your imagination can't really go as wild as you want it because you have to have a Bible of things that have happened to characters, and you know, you've got to stick to everything. So yeah, and then This Will Run Forever, the final Jessie Pierre book, comes out in May. And that's again 200,000 words. So I'm just really looking forward now to resetting. I've got a 3 or 4 ideas. I just can't decide. Like I've started writing each one of them. And I'm kind of just like waiting for one of them to go, it's me. And that's the one I'll go with.
Awesome. Those are some big books.
Yeah. They're so big, and honestly, they sucked it all out of me.
Oh, well, thank you, everyone. Oh, Stephanie.
Sorry, I just remembered another frequent question that I get asked as well. And yes, I am still writing the script for Afterlife as a series. So that is still happening. It's just still in the
TV series.
Yeah, it's still in the...
Is there anyone else doing that on the panel? Write anything for TV? Because there were a lot of questions about that, actually. People wanted to know the books from others on the panel.
Yeah,
that was.
I mean, I'm working with as a really good friend of mine who obviously is write scripts for like the BBC and all sorts. So yeah, he's like helping me do that. So yeah, and just before, I know you're going to wrap it up, and if anybody else wants to jump in and say anything about scripts or anything before I say this, but. I just wanted to thank everybody for coming to obviously our first panel, but I wanted to also thank our authors for joining me on this panel, and it's been one of the funnest panels I've ever been on, so thank you so much for being here, and I'm sure everybody really appreciates it, so thank you very much.
I can't say it better than that.
Sorry, I just totally stole your thunder. Your big ending.
I can't say it better than that. Well, thank you so much, seriously, for being here. We really enjoyed it. And thank you to all of you and everyone watching on all the Facebook groups and YouTube and all that jazz. And I think we have the room till 9:45. Okay, so we have a little bit of time to get some drinks and mingle. And we will see you at the signing tomorrow. Woohoo!
You can leave.